Morning everyone, today's December the 6th. It is currently 6:37 in the fucking morning. I am chilling out in the parking lot right at the crossing waiting for the sun to come up. Today our plan is to explore more than we fish. It's early in the season. There are probably one or two fish lingering around already, but today's objectives are going to be to explore, find some water for this upcoming winter steelhead season that is swingable, and also try and find some water that looks less accessible so that when I do come back out here in March, February, April, later in the season, I'll be able to fish some runs that are less pressured. So today our expectations of touching fish are low, which is perfectly fine. Today is just going to be a hiking day. Do a little filming around, hiking around. I've brought two rods with me. You can see here, I got the spay rod here. I got the Loop Opti NXT 708 12-foot 4-inch 4-piece spay rod. And then also in the back, I don't know if you can really see it, but you can see that stick there on the angle in the back there. That's the old trusty GL3 with the 6-inch pink worm on it, rigged up, ready to go. So we're gonna look to just walk fast, move fast when we do fish, but also take our time when we are hiking around, because obviously the last thing I want to do today is actually hurt myself or get lost while fishing solo. Cameron won't be joining us today. Cameron is back in Terrace. He's there from the 5th to the 10th, so you guys can expect another TyeeFishingCo video from Region 6. He's fishing with a pal that we met last August when we were there for 2 weeks or 10 days or so, whatever. So hopefully we get to see a video of him fighting a Region 6 steelhead. That'd be really cool to see. But anyway, just stay tuned. Today is going to be a pretty laid-back trail one. Not so much fishing action. A lot of scenery, a lot of river pics, a lot of walking around. Should be a good day. I'll also add a couple double dabbles of input just to jog your brains, just to introduce some information and maybe try and get that brain sort of rewired for winter steelhead season, because obviously it's big time different from salmon season in terms of numbers, where they sit, what the fish like to do in sort of the different conditions. So I'll definitely add some just food for thought sort of throughout this video, just to keep you guys sort of entertained and brains probed while you guys get to watch some nice scenery, really. Anyway, stay tuned. Today's gonna be a pretty chill one, and when the sun's up and my shit's on, then we'll start walking around. Okay, so food for thought 1. I've been having this long debate with a couple pals now about leader length for steelhead. Alright, so here's a question. How long should your leader be if you're fishing chocolate milk water? Should it be 8 inches, 12 inches, 16 inches, 2 feet? If you ask me and you get the answer, then the general consensus is going to be anywhere from 12 to 16 on those dirty day waters, because you want to be able to fish the shallow water on the inside, because as we know, salmon, steelhead are relatively lazy fish, and when the water gets high and dirty, they do not want to spend so much energy in that heavy high flow water. They're going to slide to the inside. Okay, so if you fish a 12 to 16 inch leader in high dirty water, great, makes sense. What about your leader in low clear water? Should it also be 12 to 16 inches, or should it be like 18 to 24 inches? But now let's think. Where do steelhead and salmon like to sit when the water gets low and really clear? Are they going to sit really shallow close to the bank, where they are A, easily seen, and B, in an easy spot for predators to get to? Or are they going to sit in that deep, choppy water where there's more depth, more flow, and they are safer from all of their predators and whatever environmental pressures? Well, they're going to sit in the heavier, choppier water. And how does that affect your leader length? Well, let's put it this way. If you're fishing a 2-foot leader off your lead, right, your lead's going to drop down, then your leader's going to do this. It's not going to be down with your lead, right? So when you fish heavier, choppier water, you actually want to shorten that leader. So, I mean, contrary to popular belief, you don't want to lengthen up, you want to shorten down, and actually what you want to do is go shorter and lighten your leader. So instead of running, let's say, a 15-pound fluorocarbon leader or a 15-pound Maxima leader when the water's high and dirty or steelhead green, you actually want to cut that back from 16 inches, you want to cut it back to probably like 12 inches, really short. You want to fish heavy in terms of lead, like a 30-gram float. And then you want to fish like a 12 or 10-pound fluoro leader, right? Because remember, like, short leader will keep it next and close down with your lead. A long leader will be up and above your lead, and you'll have no clue what your shit's doing, right? That's just food for thought one. If you have a different opinion, feel free to drop that down below. I'm curious to see what different people say. Because currently for me, I've had to do a mental reset with steelhead season in terms of my leader lengths. I used to always believe that, yeah, when the water gets really clear, okay, let's lengthen up the leaders, lighten up. But then I started thinking about during salmon season a bit, because during salmon season, I fish, me and Cameron, we fish with ticker leads, right? So it's tap and bottom, blah, blah, blah. And then it kind of racked my brain. A long leader off lead will not stay down with the lead. It will float up above it, and you will never know what your stuff is doing, right? Anyway, that's just food for thought one. I'm curious to see what you guys say about that down in the comments below. Okay, it is now 6:52 in the morning, and the lights at the complex at the crossing just turned off, so I have to turn on my truck interior lights, but that's okay. Hopefully I don't drain the battery. But food for thought number 2. This is more for the fly guy, the spay guy. How many steps do you like to take when you swing? Especially in the early season. I know that typically in winter steelhead, you know, you swing it slow, you swing it low, you take your time, because in the winter the fish are lethargic, they're pretty cold, right? Water's cold, temps are cold, so you really want to swing that fly as slowly in front of them as you possibly can. But I have heard from some fellows that they like to, you know, they like to 4 or 5 step it, they like to fish it faster. I'm curious to see what you guys say. It's weird. I remember when I was in Terrace, in the chocolate milk shit brown water of the main Timskina, I was told to fish it fast, like 5 step it, while swinging 15 feet of sink 3 all the way to the inside, because that's where the fish were sitting. But I'm curious to see like how you guys do out here in terms of stepping, swinging, and the overall speed in which you guys cover a run. Because, like, you know, it's like there's some days where it's like in March and it's like I roll up to a run, I know that run has a fish in it, and I swing through it fast because I know in March when the temps are a little warmer, then the fish are more eager to bite a swung fly, and then swing, nothing, run it through with a second fly, nothing. So I'm curious to see how you guys do it. Let me know your thoughts below in the comments in terms of swinging speed, in terms of like the actual swing itself, like how fast that fly is coming across the water, and how fast you work that run. Like, are you someone that does like a one step down, or are you someone that likes to do 3 steps, which is pretty average, or are you someone that likes to fish it fast, 4 or 5? And also, if you're gonna say how many steps you like to do, how do you dictate your number of steps with the water conditions you're fishing? So let's say it's like high. Oh, my lights, come on, man. Oh, did my battery die? Oh fuck, oh no it didn't. Okay. But anyway, let me know what you guys say in the comments. Lights died, so I'm gonna end food for thought number 2 for the spay/fly angler. All right, you finally see something. 7 something in the morning. We're at the crossing here. You can see it's flattened out a lot. There used to be a really nice deep slot like smack in the middle, but this whole thing's like just flattened out. Could also be the water level's just low, but yeah, there's like not a lot of good sitting water. Or I can't really tell. It's hard to tell, but I think there's not that great sitting water anymore really for steelhead here. This is definitely just more of like a traveling lane sort of. They scoot through here all the way to the head and then blast their way up this sort of john. Yeah, it's definitely flattened out, I guess, this season. I don't remember when it flattened out, but must have been when we got that big rain. It all shifted again and stuff filled in, but yeah, so be it. Part of the game. All right, guys, so update. We went down to the crossing, fished around there, had an absolute blast. It was really funny. So I put on this dead egg. Let me get it off my bag if it's still there. Oh, it's there. 1 second. So I put on this dead egg, this guy here, with a size 2 Gamakatsu bead hook, that super wide gap. And holy fucking cannoli, the number of whitefish in that pool is fucking dumb. I hooked and landed, I'd say I hooked about 30 of them, probably landed about 20 of them. But I think a lot of them were repeat offenders. I was starting to notice that some of them already had the poke in their mouth, you know, like a hole in the mouth already. So I probably caught the same fish a couple times. I caught this one absolute donkey, like it was bigger than my boot. So I wear like a, you know, like I'll flip the camera around if I can here. If I can't. I wear a size 9 men's Sims G4 wading boot, and this thing was like 3.5 inches longer than my boot. So yeah, there's a couple of football sized mountain whitefish in there. Caught a beautiful bull trout that had me by surprise. I know bull trout are really rare on this river, so I was glad to finally check that one off the list. I caught 2 wild rainbows or juvenile steelhead, which is a good sign. I'm in the right direction for catching a steelhead maybe this year after catching those 2 small guys. Maybe who knows, maybe in a month or 2 when I go back there'll be a steelhead waiting for me instead of those 2 small rainbows. Now I'm just below the crossing. I'm like across from the UFE campus on the opposite side of it, and we're just gonna wander down, check it out. The river here hasn't changed too much. It still splits left and right, with the shallow side on my side and the deeper side on the UFE side. But my game plan, I'm really cross this little island here across the shallow point and walk around and see what I can do. Doesn't look like the run below that log jam, like way down, doing a shit job pointing it out, way down there has changed, so that should still be some decent looking water. Only thing is, the river's really low right now. I really wish if it had like a 1 foot bump of height and like just a little bit less viz, like, you know, 2-3 inches less of viz, like fuck, it'd be great timing to be out, but a little early, but that's okay. Get the steps in now so I know where to come back later. Anyway, I'm gonna work my way down, head down there, and then I will come back with another update. See you guys in a bit. All right, another update. So I wandered downstream and I totally forgot that they dug out those giant gravel pits once second trucks went by. So it seems like below the crossing, you really want to access it from the UFE side. It's really hard to access from the other side. It's challenging, and to get to some of the places you gotta cross some sketchy, like fast, shallow areas with like rocks that are covered in algae, and if you don't have felts, you're shit out of luck. And I would assume that most of you guys don't have felts on during the winter, because in Chiliwack you get a shit ton of snow and that stuff kind of stacks. So yeah, definitely access it from the UFE side, northern side of the river, and yeah, you're definitely a lot more opportunities over there. So now I'm just walking my way back to the truck at Pacific Rivers. Gonna run in, say hi, see if they're doing that derby again, sign up for it, and then I'm gonna work my way, another truck, gonna work my way to Peach, go check out Peach because that's always fun, and then I'll make my way to High, check out the pocket water scene there because I haven't been up there in a while, and then end off the day. I'll probably run down to the train bridge, grab my spay rod, do some swinging. Hopefully that run below the train bridge doesn't suck, and yeah, knock on wood, we're gonna hope. Anyway, I'm gonna get rolling here. See you guys at the next spot. All right, food for thought. I think this is number 3, 4. I don't remember. Food for thought. This one's gonna be for the gear guys. Early season steelhead, even though the water is usually low and clear in December, do you prefer fishing big and nasty, like, you know, 6-inch, 5-inch pink worms, or do you guys like fishing like small but bright, so like 10 mil pink beads, 8 mil pink beads, or do you fish something totally different? Let me know down in the comments below. I'm curious to see the variety of gear that you guys use. I fish worms. I like worms. I feel like all the fish I've caught have been on worms, on other systems, not here. I haven't hooked shit on the Vedder. I'm a worm guy. Cameron's a bead guy. Oliver's a bead guy. I personally don't fish bait. I just find that, especially with all the wild steelhead around, you're bound to hook one a little deeper, and I like to minimize the risk of damaging those precious wild fish that we all care so much about. So I am a no baiter for the most part when it comes to steelheading, and part of it's also a lot of the systems I fish don't allow bait. So yeah, it's gonna be a while for someone to convince me to fish bait during the winter steelhead season on the Chiliwack. So anyway, yeah, drop down below some gear that you guys like to fish. You don't have to put your secret tactics in there, but you can just like generic answers like, I like to fish beads. You can say soft bead, hard bead, or I like to fish jigs, Colorado blades, worms. You know, drop them down below. I'm curious to see what you guys like to fish. All right, guys, new update. We're at Peach. If you remember where this is, I don't know if you can see the fucking log jam, but it widened out, and that slot behind that log jam is fucking gone, which kind of blows. But you do get this really cool sort of rapply shit that rolls in here, which is kind of nice, but it's pretty shallow. It's maybe like 2 feet, maybe 3 at the most. Still a cool spot though. Anyways, I'm gonna be working my way down to like actual Peach and like that gravel dig out, and keep you guys posted. Hopefully get a bobber down or anything. But honestly, you can't complain. Today's been a good day regardless, catching all those fucking trout and whitefish. Can never complain with that. But obviously steelhead is the icing on the cake if we can make it happen. Anyway, stay tuned. I'll keep you guys posted, and hopefully something amazing happens. All right, we're just taking a break here. So we're at Peach now. As you can see, it's flattened out a lot. That log used to stick out into the river, but it's now swept parallel to the banks. There's a really nice, it's hard for you guys to see, but I can see it. You can see that nice like slot on that far side. It's just hard to cast. It's like a 90 something foot cast probably from this bank to the other bank. So if you're gonna fish this section and you want to fish that side, definitely you gotta do the bushwhack from the other side. And then that bar that sort of ran right there flattened out, and that's all underwater now. I mean, there's some cool like riffly raffly, you can sort of see it on the inside there, which could hold fish, but yeah, it's just hard. I think like most of the fish are either going to be at far bank, or like they're just going to like linger because this is so easy for them to be safe in. But that's Peach. I'm going to work my way down probably a little bit more to where those trees are down there, and then probably head downriver to the train bridge. I'm not going to Tam High. I don't have enough time. I spent too much time catching fucking whitefish. So we're gonna head down, then head down again, and then that's gonna be that for today. Alright, so I'm beneath Peach. This is a really cool looking riffle in here, this inside. It's nice. No bites for me. I saw 3 guys further down. I'm gonna work my way down to the train bridge now. Yeah. So far, no bobber downs on the worm. Might switch it up, but at the same time, again, as I said this morning, my expectations for steelhead are low as fuck because it's pretty early in the season, so might just ride it out honestly with the pink worm. Food for thought number 5, I think. You know, this is great. What do you do when you start losing faith in your setup? You know, like let's say like, you know, you're a hardcore bead guy and all your beads aren't working for shit. What do? You keep riding that John out? Are you switching up to like a worm or a jig, you know, or like vice versa? Let me know down in the comments. I'm kind of curious to see what some of your mentalities are like when the old faithfuls aren't producing when they should. Anyway, drop it down below and then I'll make a video probably day after just to respond to some of the comments and stuff like that, yada yada. Anyway, onto the train bridge, and then that's gonna be the last spot for the day. It's already starting to get dark and it's starting to get a little chilly, so I don't want to get trapped in that shit as I'm ending my day. But yeah, onto the train bridge. We'll see you guys down there. All right, guys. So it's 3 p.m. I'm calling it a day. Fished train bridge and down all the way to Wilson Road. So today we totaled 414 casts in how many hours? I started fishing at like 7 hours, 414 casts. Do a little bit of math. It's about 60 casts an hour basically. Fishing fast, not wasting time. I switched presentations once. Yeah, switched presentation once. I went from the Gibbs Delta 4-inch pink worm to like a 10 mil pink bead when I was fishing lower down because I saw footprints and I was like, oh guys, I've already touched this water before, so I'm not going to fish as big and obnoxious. There's something a little smaller, but just as obnoxious in terms of color. But yeah, no, great success today. We caught, you know, lots of whitefish, Vedder River bull trout, which is pretty rare. So, and 2 wild rainbows, or they could be like wild steelhead smolts. I mean, hard to tell. And technically speaking, they'd be the same thing. Steelhead smolt is just a small rainbow, basically. So great success today with the dead egg. Limited success with the steelhead gear. I had 2 pretty, I want to say they were fairly definitive bobber downs. Like I wasn't dragging bottom, and they just dropped under, and I swung for the hills and missed twice. But yeah, you win some, you lose some. I swung by Pacific River today when I was at the crossing. Talked to some fellers there, and they're like, yeah, we've seen photos of 4 fish caught and 1 killed. So I mean, it's good to know that, you know, your time is definitely not wasted doing this early season scouting and fishing. Definitely, if you guys got the time, get out here. River's changed, and you definitely want to scout it out before you come out here middle of February, March, and you've got no clue what the fuck the river looks like. Anyway, so I'm just heading back to the car. Gonna drive an hour and 45 back to Vancouver. Gonna take a break, grab some food. I'll see you guys at the next adventure.